Kombucha was known as the immortal health elixir by the Chinese, originating far east around 2,000 years ago. Consuming foods containing beneficial bacteria can help support the bacteria in our bodies. Fermented foods are a rich source of probiotics, that is, beneficial bacteria. When done right, fermented foods help with nutrient absorption, vitamin synthesis, breaking down proteins, alkalizing pH, restoring homeostasis, boosting immunity, and producing immunoglobulins. Kombucha does not aim to simply elevate the symptoms of disease. It empowers the body to get to work on the root cause. Kombucha can correct systemic imbalances. As an adaptogenic tonic, kombucha contains elements that offer nutritional and digestive support, strengthening the immune system and assisting in removing impurities from the blood and organs. Kombucha can help populate the gut with good bacteria and B vitamin-rich yeast, lower the pH of the stomach, and jumpstart digestion and nutrition absorption with a number of healthy acids and enzymes. Why it works? Well, kombucha contains naturally fermenting probiotics that help maintain healthy gut flora by increasing the number of beneficial organisms. It preserves nutrients and breaks them down into an easily digestible form, which allows you to absorb them better. It enhances the absorption of minerals, particularly calcium, iron, zinc, magnesium, phosphorus, and copper. Healthy gut flora improves digestion, fights candida overgrowth, improves mental clarity, and stabilizes mood. A healthy gut can also attribute to reducing or eliminating depression and anxiety. Kombucha contains numerous strains of yeasts and up to 20 different bacteria species, and possibly many more. It detoxifies the body. The enzymes and bacterial acids in kombucha ease the burdens on the liver by reducing pancreatic load. Kombucha contains gluconic acid, which binds to toxins and increases their excretion through the kidney or intestines. It contains vitamin C and a potent detoxifier. It supports the nervous system. Kombucha contains vitamin B, which has been supporting the nervous system, and it's anti-aging and supports the joints. Kombucha contains glucosamine, which are vital for the treatment and prevention of arthritis. Kombucha allegedly eliminates gray hair, increases sex drive, and improves eyesight. Kombucha concentrates the antioxidants found in tea, and antioxidants not only fight the environmental toxins known as free radicals, which contribute to illness and disease, but help slow the anti-aging process. Theoretically, powerful antioxidant nutrients can prevent and lessen wrinkles by promoting skin elasticity. It's antimicrobial. Ha! See? So much greatness, Lee. Kombucha is antimicrobial due to its acidic and organic acids, proteins, enzymes, and bacteriocins. It exerts antimicrobial activity against pathogenic bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. Thank you, kombucha. Thank you, powerful SCOBY. We absolutely love you. So I share this theory of health because a lot of people are wondering, and so I just thought I would just share while I, started an intro as we poured a booch. This is what we got tested back in 2018. So we've got here per gram is 1,000 for the SCOBY. This was October 2018. So this is a fresh SCOBY. So you can see plain booch comes in at 900,000 per gram of probiotic count per gram. Like how many probiotics do I got in my belly? And vinegar has none. Did you notice that? That is really, really, really important. Vinegar has none. So we are looking at pH. We are looking and learning about the Brix, which is the sugar density, learning the pH and understanding we want to stay under. When we're sweet, we're over 4.6, so we have to be careful, as well as that one. And then our first ferments came in already at 3. And then we have our juices. They're already under, so we're good there. And now they're all fermenting. And so I did a test on one that was going in the fridge, and it too was again under because it's all under, so it was all safe. So to bring you up to speed now, we have basically the scobies and all this information. I'm gonna go from the start to the very beginning here. And I'm going to basically set up the camera so I can use both hands, and we'll talk from where it all started. Cheers. Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to our kombucha science lab. So I've got some history and data and videos and bottle openings and lots of really cool stuff that I'm really excited to splice together and make this series, or to make this segment. And so I'm here to share what we've got. I've never laid it all out, and I've just been filming a little bit, splicing together as Tegan and Tyler are here and awake. Just gonna do this. Coming at you live as I can do it. Cheers. This is naturally carbonated. Should always just stay down to the last. And for a few days, can stay carbonated in the fridge. Way better than a beer. So the difference is these bubbles that are suppressed into these beautiful bottles are naturally the natural gases and alcohol that trap in. Like in bread production, there's gluten at work. So the gluten will basically be developed, and then as the carbon dioxide gas and alcohol is fed from the sugars, it's going to release into the, basically you're gonna fart and toot it away, but it gets trapped into the gluten network and then expands in the dough. So then therefore we bake it in the oven and you have leavened bread. When you come into here, it gases away. Hi. When you come into here, it gases away, and then what we have is the bottles that get trapped in. So everything just stays suppressed. So over time, it can blow, and that's what happened to us in our very first brewing experience in the first year. We had one bottle blow on us, and nothing like that ever since. We've been testing a lot of stuff along the way, and I've just, you know, from all of the testing and brewing, I just, you know, it's fun. And how do I not just, well, log that and keep that, and we'll see what that turns into be like. So I'm here to share what we've got missed to. Big support and help and thank you to Tyler from the bottom of my heart. Back when the data was like, I was painfully trying to use my brain and keep this logged so I could do the pH and the bricks as beautiful as I could and give the information about what's going on, personality. So who knows if this will ever get us and take us anywhere, but I want to share it because I've created it. We have acetic acid and gluconic acid that are present in kombucha, and then vinegar basically eats up all of the bacteria and then it makes it super, super, super potent, but yet with a mellow flavor. So it's very much like rice wine vinegar, where it's like light, you can drink it a little easier than white distilled vinegar. A lot of homes are filled with commercial vinegar, but I encourage brewing and aging your own kombucha into vinegar, because why not? And how beautiful. You can use it as a face tonic to heal cracked feet, and you can, right? You can add it with cannabis coconut oil. And this has been in the fridge for a very long time, a couple of years, and it's basically a paste that I made. I have some curiosity. I feel like the SCOBY is the beautiful byproduct that we have here of kombucha. I feel like this SCOBY that people are composting, just wonderful. It's super sharp, super acidic. Here's the puree. I've got some in the fridge. This is one from a year and a half ago. This one is room temperature that I'm just plain using. And then this is a SCOBY that we are culturing right now in the liquid. So I just wanted to bring that out and share. So a lot of pureed SCOBYs, a lot of vinegar. This is, what is this? Our True Bucha. Excellent balanced taste, 2.5 bricks, 8 full months age, tested at 2.4, sweet and tart at July 9th, 2018. So now, this is what I want the bricks for. Let's give this a go. What's she gonna say to me today? I'm just getting my machine started. So I'm just gonna get the bricks started here. We do a water solution, and then we do the amount right in. I usually like to just give a dab before. There we go. 2.4. 2.4. Didn't change. It's 2021. What it does is it'll eat itself until it's basically non-existent. And I proved and tested that with a full kombucha that I did at a workshop. And then we had a full extra one like this. So what she did was she basically made herself a SCOBY, started drinking the liquid, grew thick, got that thick. I couldn't take her out. She started to soak up and continue to eat the same liquid. And then she basically went short, started to eat herself from the bottom up, shriveled herself away, and almost pretty much we just went away. Just like fascinating how beeswax and candles just, we become like dust. It's wild. Moving from glass jars to the bags. This one has aeratedness. Pretty neat, the old age to that SCOBY, the way that it's formed. This one is just sucked into the bag. So that one had the air, and then again, most of them didn't. Grow like a balloon in the airplane, like a big bag of chips ready to pop, and then they come back down, and that's what these do. So this one of these had all the liquid just spewed out, and this one's so aged, and you can just see it's like, wow. 2018, 2 years ago. It's just so cool how it's like, wow, I burped it on August 18th, 2018, and it exploded out a third. It was dense puree. Now it's airy like the others. So it was really dense and tight, and I remember that. And yeah, it was just like a volcano. I've got video footage of that, so I can pull that back up. This is basically like a thud paste. It's like super thick and dense. This is one old aged one turning brown, and that's in a plastic vessel. So you can see that just more or less denatured more than glass. I'm so fascinated to see this stuff just not die and not move, not grow, not do anything. This is a super thin SCOBY. So I was doing this way back in 2018, July 26, 2018. And so if I take her out, which is super cool. See, SCOBY's formed on top, but watch this. And the liquid, see, because the SCOBY's formed on top, the liquid will stay in there. But look at this. This is from 2018. And she's like, just like from the day I put it in. Look at that. That was 2 years ago I put that in there. Isn't that wild? Wow. I'm just gonna hold that up to the light. Look at that. Isn't that insane? Another thin. This one's the August one I just did. It's a nice big thin SCOBY. One very large thin SCOBY. Here you go, Noma. I got one too. So yeah, I guess these are gonna continue to hang out on my shelf because where else would they go? This is just another one, 20. We like to just keep some around so I can test against, like right now I could test that. But just because we tested the one, I don't need to test the other ones. I mean, I could, but yeah, they're all around 2.7. And yeah, look at that, look how clear that is. So basically the yeast eats the sugars and it produces carbon dioxide, gas, and alcohol. So that's the bubbles that form that we basically eat and we digest and we toot or fart. And what happens in the kombucha, it gets trapped in the glass bottles or it breathes out, or like with bread, it gets trapped in the gluten network. So, alcohol is a byproduct. It's released, it's out there. We're not deriving for alcohol here at all, but there are people now that because of distribution levels of the margins and the restrictions and the guidelines that people offering kombucha for sale commercially, there's options that they can take to manipulate the control of the activity of fermentation. One of the ways is by stripping out the alcohol. And so some people, like Dr. Brew down south in the US, they have a machine that is a distiller that they're actually making kombucha alcohol, and they're bottling that and selling it now. So who knows where this will all go. Some people are making leather. We're gonna talk about the leathers, dog treats, clothing, you know, packaging, edible, compostable packaging. I just think it should be definitely everywhere. We should just get this everywhere. It should be our animal feed. It should be just, you know, we just need to transform what we're doing because everything is so stale, so processed, so cooked, so fried, so dried out, so just hard and processed and filled and stuffed and toxinated and irritated, and it's smothering us. And then we're wondering why we have illnesses and why our cells are, you know, confused. So it's really fascinating, you know, doing some fluid gels. There's that one there. Our first ever kombucha vinegar. Here's some more I was obviously using. And that's why they're down, because I was, you know, cooking with them. So last summer we did a whole bunch of these ones that I'm showing up here. And those are for show. Those are conversation starters. This is just a regular one. And then when we did we brewed for a class and then we had extra. So we basically flavor. So this is pretty neat here. So we take the vinegar or we take the kombucha, we make items. These are some of the condiments in our fridge right now. These are last year's carrots, still just using them up. Literally, they've sat in our fridge. This is like 1, 2 more Romanescos. Tegan and I just took one down earlier. We started and made a beautiful kimchi that I've just cracked open. That's the SCOBY on top. And then I basically have the beautiful kimchi slaw inside. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That gorgeous kimchi. So that's how I like it. I like it kind of slaw-like. Carrots and, oh, gorgeous. So I'm gonna move that back. She's very, very spicy. We're doing kombucha jellies. Now these ones are a bit moist. They were in the freezer. They were the most moist ones. They're beautifully set, but they're just. So they're juicy. I'm gonna touch them. That was with the Merlot. Yeah, bub. Da-da, he's so amazing. These ones in here. They've been in the back of my fridge for God knows how long. Some, definitely quite a few months. I also tested them. They're super dried out, but I tested them just sitting in the warm room, drying out further. So they're just like harder, firmer. They haven't aged. Besides, there's no molding. Just like your fruit snack leather. Like that's all this is just like chewy fruit snack leather. Basically this is just a nice little thin pad that I did. I showed here a thicker type of form is thicker and then it's super thin. So just different levels. And I only add kombucha and gelatin and set them. I don't add any sugar. This is a SCOBY sheet. So this is basically a puree that I did in a rectangle form. Super thin. They are good for pig's ear. They're just starting to have crystallization. Anyway, super neat. These are just SCOBYs. SCOBYs. So if you were to rehydrate, try and chew, this is way more fibrous. You almost have to hydrate it, chew it for a while, and then spit it out. It'd be hard on a tummy, right? Hard on the tummy. This, if you puree, if you just chewed it, it'll dissolve. And so for the animals, I think that this is the way to go more than this. So these are two. One is puree, and this one is a whole dried SCOBY. Oh, peekaboo. Yeah. We started to take some of the SCOBY and we pureed it with fruit and dehydrated it. This is a fruit leather, super thin. Dried mango sheet, super dry. Yeah, dehydration. So you go from fresh and dried. So I was starting with some different sheets. See how thin that is? That's really cool. Dehydrated mango, SCOBY, fruit leather, brie 4 years ago. This was then powder, and basically it's in a very crumbly state, and that was one blitz. So this could really become just a powder, a sticky gummy kind of powder, because it rehydrates a bit tacky in your mouth. So again, it could be a really great medium, stored dried. Now what kind of health benefit is this if it's dehydrated all the way? I have not tested yet dehydrated leather, but what we are looking at is a medium that's more organic than something that's synthetic that can be replaced because it's already processed and made and just being composted. So here is some SCOBY leathers. You go from plain SCOBY, that is actually a sheet, literally dehydrated, to the plain that's pureed sheet. So same. Then you can add fruit, just a little thicker, this one. And depending on your mixture, it'll start to go from this really tough state to a terrible state. Terrible, get it? Terrible state. So don't know if that's like, yeah, there we go. Look how thin that is. So from the regular ones, that's how much they go down, from about that big of a SCOBY, paper thin. So again, the texture of this is really hard, and once you chew into it, it'll kind of like form like this and gritty, and then you basically, it's just like material. You just want to like take it out. So what I like to offer for anybody, especially for their animals, I would want to try and help them digest. So I recommend we make sheets, and we can chop them, and we can offer them like that somehow as a leather. But I think that the animals would like fruit too. So if you're gonna just do it, we might as well just do one, and then offer that as a offering to your children, offering to your animals. I kind of sandwich patty these together. Lots of different colors here. Let's see if this light will help. This one, 2. This is a big sheet I just tore up. And they're kind of sticky, but a little bit dry. Like they're not really, they're just, you know, the sweeter, softer it'll be. Cherry, banana, date, prune, strawberry, SCOBY snacks. 2 to 1. Fruit to SCOBY. February 2nd, 2020. I love the prune and the cherry. So there's that. Dried fruits, these are dried dates. If you got pitted dried dates, and you can puree SCOBY, and in a jar, like a container, you know, you can basically layer to soak overnight so they hydrate, or dice down your dates, kind of layer it, fold it into some of the SCOBY. Then the next day puree it. Any type of fruit you can take, and you can puree with the SCOBY, and you can just basically patty it out. So basically this just gets pureed and then spread about, you know, 1 centimeter to ½ an inch. You want to put it into a rectangle type of form into the dehydrator, and then it'll usually sort of finish off somewhere around here. Or if you take it too far, it potentially can dry out like a super thin sheet and be very wafery thin. So we did noodles, call them wormy. I love the date, I love the prune, I love the sugary sweeter. So that's why I'm liking the dehydrated fruits being blended in, because they're already just that much further along. So what we did was we did banana, and even just straight up fresh banana, because it just dehydrates anyway. You can go fresh. They're very similar, but we absolutely love the banana. Anyway, so yeah, these are tasting just the same as they did the day I made them. And a lot of these are super old. So, this is February 2nd, 2019, what I'm eating right now. All these guys. And they're just, you know, they're just not as tender as others. So here's an example of a thick piece to a thin piece. Going too thin, like candy. And again, tarts, cookies, fillings, pastries, cakes, layers. I can't wait to just share it all. You can eat it, break it down, no problem, because it's pureed. Strawberry. Oh. Anyway, see, these are right, super thin. Chinese 5 spice. I can smell it. I ate the strawberry one. Lovely enough. And then I did some oats because we make our granola. So I did little granola oat balls. And these I just pressed with the date. I basically rolled it up. That's date. That's prune. That's banana. Read that label. Oh yeah. Nailed it. That a suey ball, power ball. Your own homemade granola ball. That one's got amaranth and quinoa. And you soak your nuts, dehydrate them, process them into granola. make a thick paste. I'll show this a little bit more. Make this a thick paste in a ball. And it's still crispy, actually. That's cool. These are pretty old. Nothing's moldy. That's still. Not bad. This is banana. Scoby leather gone too far. So what I did was I cut squares. I spiral. You can hear it. I started getting some of the mulch from the juicery because I was realizing that, and it irritates me thinking about all of the wasted food that could be beneficially used. But because of restricted margins, there's often a lot of food wasted. So it's pretty serious stuff. So what we've categorized is basically a yellow mix, a green one, and a red one from all of the different rainbowy types of drinks. And so in the yellow one, you're gonna find carrot, apple, orange, ginger, turmeric, pineapple, and pear. And yeah, that's our yellow powder. So we, to make 1 cup volume, it took 4 liters of product, 4 kilograms of product in a bucket would make this much. So that much on 4 sheets that get dehydrated, and then I basically gave them a one-time blitz in our Vitamix, and that's this. So it could go further, but there you have it. It's super powerful, super potent, lots of turmeric and ginger. The green one is definitely still has a lot of similar ingredients with the base ingredients, what you'd find, but you know, the green one has kale, lots of kale and apple, and the red one has obviously the beet base. So they're really, I could open them and smell them, but they are one of beautiful, they're just all beautiful in their own. So that's what I also have up here, showcasing up here in these little vessels is just, again, an open conversation starter is what that is up there. So these mulch powders are treated in my world. I like to look at them like a gluten-free flour substitute. So just like we were using a nut meal or a bean meal, meal means ground. If it's a ground dried powder or flour, anything ground down is classified as a flour. So you can have amaranth flour, you can have quinoa flour. Quinoa is a great place to sit. It's actually a seed. It's not actually a grain. Most nuts and grains need to be soaked to remove any type of negative enzymatic reaction for our bodies. It helps process in our bodies to assimilate the food. So having some help with that by adding, by fermenting, soaking, you know, there's these activation ways. Basically the powders are here. We've started mixing them with the SCOBY fruit leather. And then what we started to come up with was a really nice kind of chewy, more chewy, gritty, grainy texture. So that's what you're seeing here. And this is really neat because it's actually really fibrous and there's a bit more grit texture, but it could be really great as it could be thicker. Like what I mean by thicken it up or roll it, right? Make that into a good ball. And you just got a nice big patty ball. Boom, right? Mmm. So good. Mmm. It's a really good idea, right? Just roll some balls and eat those. Coat that in chocolate. You know what I mean? It's that easy. Mmm, this is a big bite. So good. This looks like it's the molding, but it's not. That white is just sugars, just like you find on dried figs. It's the yellow one. So is anyone of interest to get into the animal food industry and help transform it? Here we go. Now, add flour, make crackers, make tart bases, pastry fillings, samosa fillings, falafel fillings. Treat this as a substitute like a gluten-free flour because it doesn't have the binding texture at all and it hydrates a bit moist. I'm gonna show you the dehydrated banana, the one we nailed. It's so beautiful. You can see those are just the roll-ups just rolled up. This is the banana one. So this is from dried banana. Dehydrated banana SCOBY. It's the best. Mmm. Let's get some of that, take 'em. getting these into cookies and layers and cakes and tarts, and it's gonna get that tag on it. And my animals, snacks, cats, dogs, kids. I don't have, I don't think I have any more of the actual crackers that I did. I gave them all to some family friends recently. It's been in there for a long time. That in the fridge, so this doesn't look good because it's just kind of like splattered in. But this is SCOBY and date. Been in the fridge for a few months, no problem. Good. So good. I should have that labeled. Now this one has the actual powder. Yellow powder. SCOBY Mango Fresh Ripe Yellow Powder. Very pasty and vibrant. March 18th, 2021. Super beautiful. Look at that. So that's, oh, zings. That's just like the day I put it in. So much vibrant flavor. I mean, this is going in compost right now. It's insane. So this is what happens when we rehydrate it. You wanna try some? That's the SCOBY paste. Just a little bit. That's with the POW. Remember a yellow POW we're doing? Tegan loved the POW. What was your favorite part? The kale? Remember eating the green kale out of the POW? Anyway, I just have less and less and less and less. So there's just a couple short ones. There you go. I have a lot of hope. I'm passionate we can transform and change the industry. This is SCOBY puree and mango and yellow powder. Okay, so straight up. This one's being dehydrated further and it's very, very hard. It looks just as, there we go. Okay, so it's super hard. There you go. These are the little hard pieces, right? Small, big, they're definitely hard. And then this is 24 hours. The other one went soft and chewy, mushy. So this is super yellow. That's hard, honey bunny. So it's like super brown compared to super yellow. So soft, mushy. Yeah? Mama. Mushy, mushy, mushy. These little dehydrated, little thicker, chunky ones. No more? You want more, Nana? Yeah. It was good, eh? Yeah. I'm still chewing it too. I had a big piece. There, I'll rip you a big piece. Yeah. You can take it and slow chew. Yeah. He's loved everything. So these dried out too much. They're super like chewing hard. They're not super, they're just more chewy. That turmeric just kicks, it just starts zinging. Yeah. I'm gonna need some water, it's like powerful. Going to the garbage right now. And all the juiceries around North America, around Canada, all the juiceries are literally composting all this beautifulness that we can be making as chefs, but I can't even get it given to me into the industry. So what I'm encouraging is that we get this all into our own kitchen environments, whether it's a professional or it's a personal private one. And let's get everyone fueling a little bit more with homemade products. Get away from the processed foods that are in packaging that is just there to just, you know, wait to be eaten one day. Better to have the stuff in your own cupboard that you make, I would think. So we took the top of the SCOBY that we formed the kimchi. We put one on top as the sealant for the 3-4 weeks or whatever it was. Top layer, sealed, spicy. And they're really chewy. I don't recommend because that's an actual sheet. So it would not be good. Anyway, too spicy, so I'm not going for it. So this pretty much concludes it. And yeah, we're all humans, one love. That's what it's all about. We should all be able to eat all the same stuff. Crackers, snacks, chips, cookies, all of it. So let's make it, let's do it as best as we can. Our chef's perspective, Chefs by Design, Mr. and Mrs. C.